Welcome to my class of cyber security. Today we will learn about zombie and cross-site scripting. In computing, a zombie is a computer connected to a network that has been compromised by a hacker, a virus, or a Trojan. It can be used remotely for malicious tasks. Most owners of zombie computers don't realize that their system is being used in this way. Hence, the comparison with the living dead. They are also used in DDoS attacks in coordination with botnets in a way that resembles the typical zombie attacks of a horror movie. A zombie or bot is a compromised computer under the control of an attacker who often controls many other compromised machines that together makes up a botnet. The term zombie was coined to describe such an infected computer because the computer's owner is often not aware that his or her computer is being used for malicious activity. A zombie computer is very much like the agent in The Manchurian Candidate. A cracker, a computer hacker who intends mischief or harm, secretly infiltrates an unsuspected victim's computer and uses it to conduct illegal activities. The user generally remains unaware that his computer has been taken over. He can still use it, though it might slow down considerably. As his computer begins to either send out massive amounts of spam or attack web pages, he becomes the focal point for any investigations involving his computer's suspicious activities. Zombies are frequently used in denial of service attacks, which refers to the saturation of website. A DDoS attack, a term which refers to orchestrated flooding of target website by large number of computers at once, as so many users are making requests at the same time to the server hosting the web page. The server crashes, denying access to genuine user. The large number of internet users making simultaneous request of a website server is intended to result in crashing and the prevention of legitimate users from accessing the site. A variant of this type of flooding is known as distributed degradation of service. It is and uses pulsing zombies. Distributed distribution of service is the moderated and periodical flooding of websites intended to slow down rather than crash a victim site. Such attacks are difficult to detect as the slowdown may go undetected for months or even years, or is simply assumed to be due to the other problem. Cross-site scripting. A XSS attacks are types of infection in which malicious scripts are injected into otherwise benign and trusted website. XXX attacks occur when an attacker uses a web application to send malicious code, generally in the form of a browser side script, to a different end user. Flaws that allow these attacks to succeed are quite widespread and occur anywhere a web application uses input from a user within the output it generates without validating or encoding it. Cross-site scripting is a web security vulnerability that allows an attacker to compromise the interaction that users have with a vulnerable application. It allows an attacker to circumvent the same original policy, which is designed to segregate different websites from each other. Cross-site scripting vulnerabilities normally allow an attacker to masquerade as a victim user, to carry out any action that the user is able to perform, and to access any of the user's data. If the victim's user has privileged access within the application, then the attacker might be able to gain full control over all of the application's functionality and data. This is the diagram of cross-site scripting. Hacker injects trusted websites with malicious script. This is the first step. Second step is victims visit trusted website and triggers malicious script. As soon as the victim visits the trusted website, it triggers the malicious script. And third is victim's browser executes malicious scripts and unknowingly forwards desired information, session token, cookie, etc. to hacker. So this is the whole concept of cross-site scripting. Cross-site scripting works by manipulating a vulnerable website so that it runs malicious JavaScript to users. When the malicious code executes inside a victim's browser, the attacker can fully compromise their interaction with the applications. An attacker can use XXX to send a malicious script to an unsuspecting user. The end user's browser has no way that the script should not be trusted and will be executed the script. Because it thinks the script came from a trusted source, the malicious script can access any cookies, session token, or other sensitive information retained by the browser and used with that site. This script can even rewrite the content of the HTML page. Mainly, there are three types of XXX attack. First is reflected XS, where the malicious script comes from the current HTTP request. Stored XSS, where the malicious script comes from the website's database. DOM based XSS, where the vulnerability exists in client-side code rather than server-side code. Description: cross-site scripting attack occurs when data enters a web application through an untrusted source, most frequently a web request. The data is included in dynamic content that is sent to a web server without being validated for malicious content. The malicious content sent to the web browser often takes the form of a segment of JavaScript, but may also include HTML, Flash, or any other type of code that the browser may execute. The variety of attack based on XSS is almost limitless, but they commonly include transmitting private data like cookies or other session information to the attacker, redirecting the victim to web content controlled by the attacker, or performing other malicious operation on the user's machine under the guise of the vulnerable site. How to prevent cross-scripting attacks? Attackers leverage a variety of methods to exploit website vulnerabilities. As a result, there is no single strategy to mitigate the risk of a cross-site scripting attack. The concept of cross-site scripting relies on unsafe user input being directly rendered onto a web page. If users' input are properly sanitized, cross-site scripting attacks would be impossible. There are multiple ways to ensure that user inputs cannot be escaped on your website. To protect your website, we encourage you to harden your web application with the following protective measures. Whitelist values. Restrict users' input to a specific whitelist. The practice ensures that only known and safe values are sent to the server. Restricting user input only works if you know what data you will receive, such as the content of a drop-down menu, and is not practical for custom user content. Avoid and restrict HTML in input. While HTML might be needed for rich content, it should be limited to trusted users. If you don't allow styling and formatting on an input, you should consider using alternative ways to generate the content, such as Markdown. Sanitize value. When you are using user-generated content to a page, ensure it won't result in HTML content by replacing unsafe character with their respective entities. Entities have the same appearance as a regular character but can't be used to generate HTML. Thank you for watching.